Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name's StepsBasic, and welcome back to my comfy, cozy community show. I was about to go back to the old version of it, but I'm like, nah, gotta do it the fancy way, the new way. You know how it be. You know what it do. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I had a couple of quick fire topics I wanted to discuss. My cat's in the room with me, so don't worry if I have to get up and put her out. She's weird, but I love her. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about a couple of weird topics. Somewhat, hi, kitty. You can kind of see her in the corner there. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about a couple of different topics today. I want to talk about number one being the loss of magic. Now, this was an interesting idea I thought of last night while I was putting my kiddo to bed. And honestly, it's a little depressing, a little sad. But the loss of magic occurs in two phases, I've noticed. And of course, when I mean that, I don't obviously mean like actual like spell casting magic and whatnot, but no, like the magic of childhood, the magic of being a kid, where everything is special and fun, and before everything becomes adult and sad. But I noticed this last night. While I was putting my kiddo to sleep, putting her to bed. Like when I was a kid, I had all the fun magic of life, being overly imaginative, going out in the middle of the desert, exploring the desert, having fun with my friends, what few I had. All the things that we do as kids, thinking up worlds and going on adventures in our heads and whatnot. And, the belief in Santa Claus and the Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Furry. But as we grow up and get older, usually around about teenage years, we start to lose that magic. It starts to go away, We start to morph into an adult and who we're going to be as an adult. And we start to experience the first loss of magic. The first loss of the idea of... Alright, I gotta put her out now. Where was I? That's where we start to experience the first loss of magic as we're moving into adulthood, leaving our childhood behind, and we start to lose the things we used to enjoy about our childhood, from simple stuff as just using our imagination and honestly being completely carefree and not having to worry about anything. We start to lose all that stuff, but then... And of course, it doesn't happen to everybody, but then we have a kid. And we get to see the magic come back. Because now we get to see that magic from a different point of view. We get to see our kids enjoying and having fun with their imagination. We get to see them grow up and learn and become stronger and better and faster and eventually surpass us and whatnot. And we get to see that magic in them. I'm at that point where I'm starting to see the magic die again, and it's like I don't like it. My kiddo's getting older. Turned 16 last month, and now moving towards the end of high school and whatnot. And we're like, everybody's getting older, everybody's moving on, and I have to see magic die again. I can tell you, like, I love it. I love to see the magic. I love to see. Like, even now, we still see a couple of things where the kiddo discovers something new. It's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. That makes sense. I like that. And I'm like, yeah, I like to see that. Because, learning is possibly one of the best forms of magic, Best forms of that magic is see that light just click on in somebody's head. Like, oh, that's so cool. And whatnot. Actually, part of the reason why I wanted to be a teacher when I was a kid was because of that whole, bringing the magic to everybody and whatnot, bringing the magic of learning and stuff. Of course, being a teacher didn't work out for me for obvious reasons. But now we're getting to the point where kiddos growing up, and I'm starting to find my regrets in life, starting to find the true regrets I've had. And one of them was actually closely tied to this channel because I used to record every night. Instead of bulk recording on the weekends, I used to record every night. And as such, I would have a cup of coffee so I would make it so I'd be able to record 2 episodes at night. So I didn't go brush my teeth until after I was done recording, and that used to be our nightly ritual. Was like I'd go put the kiddo to bed, we'd go take the shower, we'd brush our teeth together, and then into bed for a story. Obviously, the story we grew out of that naturally. Kiddo didn't want to hear my stories anymore, or the stories I was reading anymore. And then when I started this channel and started recording at night, I realized, oh, I shouldn't brush my teeth before I before I come in to record, because I'm going to drink that coffee. I'm going to have to brush my teeth again. So I quit brushing my teeth with the kiddo, and I'm like, why did I do that? I should have just kept doing it. And now I have this big regret, because now we don't do it together. And I tried to be like, yeah, let's go brush our teeth together. And the kid was like, ew, no, go away. Because, teenagers are like that. Teenagers don't want to do anything with their parents. Parents are boring and gross. And I got an email, and it's taking forever to open it. But that was the thing I wanted to talk about. The first thing I wanted to talk about was just this passing thought I had last night about how, we lose the magic, and then we have to watch the magic die again. We have to lose the magic again as our kids get older. I'd say if there's anything to take away from that, is always keep learning, keep moving, and never let the magic die. Hold on to it as tight as possible. But of course, as adults, we need to obviously learn how to function as adults too. Fun. The other thing I wanted to talk about was another kind of one-off thought. Not really an important one, but like loyal to a fault is a phrase that you'll hear bandied about on occasions, where somebody is incredibly loyal. And honestly, I am loyal to a fault. But this often implies something that we don't understand, or we don't get right away, because we interpret it to mean loyal to a fault means that we are incredibly loyal to someone, something, etc. And I am loyal to a fault. However, to the fault, i.e., to an error, to a bad thing happening. So if one is loyal to a fault, that implies that loyalty has in some way hurt that person. And honestly, given my own life and my own experiences, I've come to understand that loyal to a fault is a fairly accurate statement, given the amount of times my loyalty has gotten me screwed, as it were. Oh my God. This puts me in the mind of like, when it comes to me and my friends, I will do anything I can to help my friends, because that's who I am, that's how I am, that's what I am. My friends deserve as much as I can give, as it were, Maybe not to the point of killing myself, but I'll give them as much as I will. But this reminds me of a story from when I was in the Navy, when I was in charge of the duty section for supply, and well, not the whole duty section, but my division's section in supply. And my friend came up to me and he's like, "Hey man, I need to get off the ship. My grandmother died." And I'm like, "Oh shoot, have we gotten the Red Cross letter? Have you gotten any of that?" And he's like, "Nah man, it's gonna take until tomorrow at least to get it to us. So is there anything you can do for me?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure, bud, I got you." And so I pulled some strings. I talked to the overall supply chain and command. I talked to LPO, LDO, and eventually I was able to get him relieved of his duties for the day and off the ship so that he could go see his grandma. I remember I gave him a hug. I said, "Good luck out there, man. Get out there, figure out what else is going on. We'll talk again later. Don't worry about the ship. We got this." Next morning, I'm proud of myself, because I used my power for good, as it were. And it was like, yeah. And next morning, like, "Hey, did you hear what happened to so and so?" Insert my friend's name here, and it's like, "Yeah, man, I heard his mom died. I got him off the ship. I pulled some strings. I got him off the ship and everything." He used me. He abused my friendship to get off the ship, to go beat the snot out of somebody and light them on fire because they owed him money, I guess. And I remember there was a bit of an inquiry, as it were. I had to talk to a whole bunch of people, and I'm like, yeah, he told me that his grandma died, and I was just trying to help. I was just trying to be a good friend, you know. Suffice it to say, I don't trust people very easily, because of stuff like that and whatnot. And it's true that loyal to a fault can literally mean to my own detriment. And while I came out of there with no issues, it still hurt a lot. And he's not the only friend that I've had betray me like that. I mean, I had one who lied to me about why he got court-martialed and found out that he... sorry, not court... Did he get court-martialed? I know he went to NJP and got busted down. He told me it was for a paperwork issue. Found out later that it was because he had an improper relationship with a teenage girl. Man, there's some scummy people out there. I tell you what, man, be careful out there. And I don't mind the idea of being loyal to a fault. However, gotta remember one thing, that not everyone deserves that loyalty, that level of loyalty. So vet your friends, as it were. I mean, don't be like me, man. Don't be like me, because I have 2 friends, and that's it. I'm good. I don't trust anybody else. They all smell. And honestly, if they're friends to me now, they're basically considered family from now on. You know what I mean? Got my brother from another mother, my sister from another mister. I got all my friends, and they're all family to me now. So I know that they ain't gonna betray me, at least not yet. There's always that little level of suspicion in my brain saying something bad's gonna happen. Yeah, but anyway, enough of the sadness. Let's talk about this week. This week I'm kind of screwed. I screwed myself. Announcements for the week. I have 2 videos recorded. I have no Miles Morales. I have no Breathage. I am so behind. And all because I was going to record this weekend, and then it didn't work out. Because kiddo ended up staying over the weekend, and I didn't have a chance to record anything. Don't get me wrong. I much preferred having kiddo over than I would have to, actually record anything. But unfortunately, it means I'm going to be scrambling all week to at least get 1 video out a day. In fact, this is going to be the only video out today. I'm going to record a couple episodes for the rest of the week after this. And yeah, that's my announcements for today. Almost done with Miles Morales. Getting back to Breathage. It's going to be fun. I don't know when the next episode of The Forest is going to come out. I kind of wanted to wait to put out the second episode until I knew when we'd record again, but it's fine. We'll find out. But anyway, apart from all that, that's going to be it for me for today. Thank you all so much for joining me for this episode of The Community Show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and pack that like button for me. If you'd like to see more from me, make sure to hit that subscribe button. And of course, as always, you're more than welcome to leave a comment in the comment section down below. And I'll get back to you as soon as I can. When I can, if I can, all that jazz. And tune in next time for another topic, another time. And until then,